Thank you very much. I want to say that when I was doing my presentation, my explanations were very, very clear on some of the issues, but since the questions have come up again, I'm going to answer them. The one that talks about what the ministry is doing to bring down costs of building materials, I think that was the first one. I did mention, talked about the building material concession. Our concern as a ministry is how to provide building affordable quality buildings for Nigerians. How do we get about the affordability? Affordability there, how to tackle it, like I said, we've had several meetings with the building material people, the stakeholders in that sector. Now, if you were buying cement at, say, 2,000, I'm just using a figure, and we're able to talk with the manufacturer to bring it down to the factory cost of, say, 1,500, automatically you would have saved 500. By the time you multiply that sum with the total bags of cement you will use, it will bring down the cost of purchase of that particular material. The same with the roofing sheets, the same with the nail. We've spoken, we've had sessions with the manufacturers of these products, of these materials, which at the end is what will bring the total cost of construction. It will help to reduce the construction when the cost of purchase of the material are reduced. For them, for the material, for the producers or manufacturers, to also assist them so that they don't lose out. We are about to give concessions. If you're importing a particular thing, there's a concession that will be given so that by the time you bring in your raw materials and then you start producing, you will not lose. That's how we are trying to tackle that aspect of bringing the cost of building materials down. And then to train the artisans, I did mention the architectural center that we are bringing up. We have a center in Lagos. We have the center here in Kuje to train artisans, to train Nigerians. I did also mention that we are not going to do it alone as government. We are partnering with international bodies who have accepted to sponsor the train-the-trainer programs. As we have key people being trained, they will now come down and train Nigerians who will be enrolled. That's the approach we are going to use. That in the shortest time, we'll be sure that when you put up a building in the construction site, you will have Nigerians working there and not outsiders being imported from the neighboring nations. What is the ministry doing with private development developers? Okay, I did mention that we are, apart from what the government is doing through the ministerial pilot scheme, the prototype pilot scheme, we are also involved in partnering with private developers. How do we encourage them? We encourage the private developers when they come in, when you indicate that you have the capacity to put up a certain number of units or houses that you want. We provide the land, unencumbered land. We will also provide the design for you and then do the supervision. By provision of the land, it brings down the cost of construction because you don't buy the land to go and they start constructing. So we encourage the private developers to partner with government in the provision of the land and also the professional technical advice. The policies that we have set down, the building code that I mentioned had been reviewed, approved by stakeholders. The essence of bringing up such a policy is to ensure that when eventually we have clearance from the National Assembly to implement it, if we follow, if the professionals, the builders follow strictly the rules that is stated there, you will not have collapsed structures again. That's the advantage. Say, for example, if we were to do a two-story building or three-story building, and then the foundation, because you want to economize, you now go do foundation for one-story building. At the end, you now put up 2 or 3-story building. Definitely in future, it will collapse. So what the building code will do is to ensure that it will be properly supervised, implemented. If you're going to do a two-bedroom, a two-story building, the foundation for 2-story building must be there. If you're doing 3 or 7 or 10-story building, it must be a foundation that will carry such a structure. That's what the advantage of the policy that we will have when done, and will be certain by the time we all jointly, ministry will do its own part of supervision, the stakeholders will do their own part. If you're an architect, ensure you do a proper design. If you're a builder, ensure you follow the architect's instructions, electrical, mechanical, and so on. We will certainly not have structures collapsing for us to lose lives or lose properties again. On the National Housing Fund contribution, the fellow who is about retiring, before, when you are employed and your money is deducted, there's guidelines. At the end of your service year, you have the right to write and retrieve your money, whatever you had contributed, bulk. Other than that, the NMRC project or the FNBN approach that we are using, as soon as you're a contributor and you desire to buy or own a house through the project we are handling, we had announced, we had advertised a portal, a website where Nigerians applied. We have over 60,000 that applied to own a home of their own. The criteria there was, are you a member of a contributor? If you are, what's your salary? Where are you working? Where is your bank account? As soon as you meet up the criteria, even if you're retiring next year and you want to use what you had saved to own a home, so far you apply and you meet up the criteria, you will be attached to a PMI who will pay off your mortgage when the building is ready and then you own a home. If you're retiring, because what you will be allowed to take is based on your income. You won't go and earn 10,000 a month and look for a house of 10 million or 20 million. Based on your income, what you have saved, at the end, if you're retiring next month, your money can be deducted en bloc, and then you still own your house. So it's a very straightforward thing. One thing is you being aware of that scheme that is in existence and then making the right move. The CFO is a very dependable title document wherever you have your land, whether along the borders or so on. So far you have an authentic C of O sign. Anywhere you present it, it has its value. The rent to own apartments that I said, it's real. It's something that will work. I had explained how it will be done. Pay your rent, it is recorded. Pay your rent, it is recorded. By the time what you have contributed over the years makes up the cost of the house, automatically the document will be signed and then the property is given to you. On the one-man, one-house promise I made, yes, I still stand by my promise that no one Nigerian for this scheme that we have started will own more than one. We are not just going to sign and give. You've applied. We will screen you. We did ask question, do you own a house? If you own a house, we will ask you to wait. Let the one that does not have at least have the first opportunity. So that it will get to, you won't expect me as the minister, I have the capability, I have the ability to build a house of my own, to come and start applying for the 2 or 1 bedroom flat to deprive the main person we intended to reach. We will be very careful in our selection to ensure that no one person takes more than 1 unit, and then you don't carry to go and start piling up. Yes, for the 43,000 plus housing units that I mentioned, the question was, is it for the low income or for the high income? Answer is yes, it is for the low and middle income Nigerians. You have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and then the 3 bedroom apartment, whether they are in blocks of flats or standing on its own as bungalow. And I did mention the cost from 1.5 to 5 million. That's the range. That range probably fits into the low and the middle income people. Well, how many estates have I completed since I came in? When I started, I said I'm 7 months old in office. My first move was to ensure that no abandoned projects will be in the ministry. The few we have commissioned since I came on board, the encouragement came from me for it to be completed. The one we are about to start, the 10,000, it's going to be done by me, and like we say, it's going to be a 6-month project, so it will be completed in my tenure. I don't know if there's any question I've left out there.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister.